up, you guys? Welcome to the April 29th edition of NBA 3-Ball presented by Establish the Run. I'm your host, Mike Gallagher. Getting ready to break down a busy 10-game slate. Going to focus on that and hit some news. Lots of fantasy ads tonight. Talk about that in 10 minutes. Hit the thumbs up and subscribe, please. Only going to hit one news item, and it's the Pistons. Not back-to-back. Rest Festival. No Grant, no Kojo, no Plumlee, no Ellington, no DSJ, no Magruder again as usual. So we know the front court. The easy part is Isaiah Stewart. Lock it up. Headed for a big role here. You know, we know the drill. When Plumlee sits, you just play Stewart. So against Dallas, that small ball lineup, he's obviously going to play regardless. Yeah, he's even a better matchup than Okafor would be. And then we know Tyler Cook and Sekou Doumbouya are going to kind of split the minutes at the 4. Cook getting a little bit of an edge, even though Sekou may start. And then the guards, we'll see a lot of Killian Hayes. A little bit maybe a Saban Lee behind him. Also talk of wanting to use Killian Hayes as kind of a combo guard. We'll see if that comes into effect. I highly doubt it. But yeah, we'll see more Frank Jackson. Josh Jackson also over his illness. He should be pretty busy today. And obviously Sadiq Bey will be chucking in a pretty good matchup, I would say, for him against Dallas. Not too much else injury-wise, so going to spend more time on the basketball stuff, and let's get to that. With the Magic getting a win in Cleveland, put 109 points up. Chuma Okeke, a great stocks game. 3 steals, 2 blocks, pretty good shooting. Mentioned they want to get the ball in the post. Awesome matchup. Mentioned it in matchups today. Really comes through. Did tweak his ankle late. Didn't think it was bad. Stayed in momentarily. Checked out. Possibly has gonna miss time. Has a back-to-back coming up. So probably would call him a little closer to doubtful for that one. So they're suddenly thin. We saw Mo Wagner actually be the backup 4 at times, so he would be looking at playing time as they kind of tighten things up. James Ennis also plays a lot of 4 for them. He had a minutes cap on him. Would have probably been at 20 if not for the Okeke ankle injury. A great game from Gary Harris here. Nothing really to take away from that. Just kind of one of those random Gary games. And Cole Anthony, a pretty good game from him. Found out he has a Dogecoin as his hobby today. Interesting. And then Mo Bamba got more run because Wendell Carter Jr. wasn't foul trouble. Still got 2 blocks out of Wendell Carter Jr. though. Cavs dropped this one, almost made a nice little comeback, dropping 40-plus in the fourth quarter. Darius Garland, man, just driving like 20 times a game these days, making his drives, passing out extremely well. He's really turned into a full-on offensive weapon. Obviously, Colin Sexton has kind of opened him up a little bit more. Also really opened up Jetty Osman and Isaac Okoro. Both guys trending up. Jetty Osman has been pretty good statistically filling things up across the board. And JB Bickerstaff has said kind of a couple times here that he wants to see Isaac Okoro kind of close and be a bigger offensive weapon for this team. So given the position in the standings, it makes a whole lot of sense to kind of see what ceiling Okoro has. We saw what he did in the preseason when he had more offense than we kind of anticipated here. Kevin Love kind of gets normal minutes after that weird stuff with the Raptors the other day. Easy win for the 76ers. Full roster here, finally, since the George Hill trade. They've got everybody out there. And we got kind of a glimpse of what the rotation is going to look like. Ben Simmons was in foul trouble with the 16 minutes and the blowout, so don't worry about that. But George Hill was his backup. We have Matisse Thybulle kind of being the forward backup, and then Shake Milton kind of being the wing backup with Dwight Howard, obviously, as Joel Embiid's backup. We got a little cork. Maxey is kind of the next guys in the rotation if we went to playoff mode. So kind of keep this all in your back pocket. When we get there, we know Doc says he's going to want to run 4 guards out there. So I think George Hill, they want to get him more playing time. We'll see how he gets integrated. Obviously, not the greatest upside in fantasy, though. Hawks still without Trey. Bogdan Bogdanovic doesn't play with a hamstring tightness. Was game time, so may have been pretty close. No Kevin Huerter. Sounds like he's going to miss more time. So we got Lou Williams and Brandon Goodwin. A really bad game from him. Surprisingly even played after the scary ankle injury the other game. So, bad matchup. Expect them to be better, especially if Bogdan doesn't play. I'm expecting Huerter and Trey to kind of miss a couple more here. Big win for the Wizards. Russell Westbrook, 18, 18, and 14. Looked it up today. In the last 5 weeks, he has 10 uncontested rebounds per game over the last 5 weeks. Just absurd. This dude just runs into boards. Potential assists are like 24 a game over his last 10 or whatever. It's crazy. Beal obviously scoring a ton. Hachimura, pretty good defense on AD almost the whole way. And they actually got him switched off AD kind of offensively, the Lakers are doing. Bad game from Bertans, nothing to worry about there. Alex Len, kind of a spot good game. Wouldn't read too much into that. Going to affect Gafford a little bit now that he's got some mojo. And then Robin Lopez isn't going to really go away. So we know we hate this 3-man center split. Wouldn't panic on Gafford. But, if you got a stream and your waiver wire is decent, you got to have real tight leashes on guys right now. Nothing really to say on the Lakers. AD got real hot late, turned in 26 points with a pretty full stat line. Looking better, obviously, shaking out the Russ. Vogel talked about that. No Alex Caruso. Nothing really to say besides that. Much needed win for the Celtics after two really bad losses. Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown, obviously the story here. 35 for Tatum, 38 for Brown. Carrying this team. And this team's just looking for help here. Evan Fournier, 1 of 7, just terrible. He's basically, his shot chart is like if you did Google Fournier right now. But yeah, it turns out Aaron Nesmith is the guy that kind of steps up. Gets 31 minutes, 3 blocks, 3 steals. Got talked up after the game from Brad Stevens, saying his defense is better now than it was in January, February. So someone to watch there. And then obviously Peyton Pritchard still got the run, even off the bench with Tremont Waters getting the start here. We know Brad Stevens likes to kind of play different dudes in back-to-backs. So we saw the Parkers and Ojales and those dudes go away in favor of Tremont and Nesmith getting a bunch of runs. So, not a run-don't-walk situation, obviously, but want to see him do it again. They like him. Robert Williams did return. Expected, had a cap, of course. Don't forget, it took him like 2 months to get him up in playing time. So it'll probably take a few games before you see the time where it was humming again. Not much to say on the Hornets in this loss. The noteworthy thing here is they did expand that 8-man rotation to 10 guys as Caleb Martin got mixed in a little bit. We saw a little bit of Cody Zeller making an impact here. But yeah, we'll see this kind of turn into things. But obviously, that is going to cap severely the upside of Cody Martin, Brad Wanamaker, and McDaniels, who's pretty much a drop right now. Big win for the Knicks. Honestly, really nothing to say here. The only thing I really want to say is they're off for 3 days. So if you've been using those borderline dudes, Bullock, Alfred Payton, whoever, Rose, whatever it is, think about dropping them if you really need to make some hay on games. But yeah, Julius Randle is just out of this world. He's got most improved locked up. Heat beat the Spurs. Jimmy Butler gets 39 minutes. I've said it multiple times here. Spoelstra's gonna play Butler and Bam a ton. A little bit of foul issues for Bam, but Jimmy's gonna have a huge finish to his season. So is Bam. Not surprised there. Nunn also 38 minutes. He's all kind of in that group too. Tyler Hero had an MRI and it's clean, so he'll be back hopefully soon. Heat could be dangerous. We know that. Derek White for the season, according to Greg Popovich, not great. Devin Vassell gets the start, doesn't do too much with it, and Lonnie Walker kind of in that key 6-man role, which is going to hurt Patty Mills a bunch if they're going to play Lonnie Walker in that role. Yeah, so I think Lonnie will be a pretty good points guy, not going to do much else. Vassell, going to be so hit or miss, maybe some stocks, more of a stream. Keldon's minutes are more secure as expected. DeJounte, triple-double, big game from him. Blazers in a back-to-back, pull out 2 easy wins here. Huge win over the Grizzlies, badly needed this one. Norm Powell strikes back here, got wrecked by John Morant the last couple games. He was kind of the primary when they were getting blasted, but comes up with 24 here. Great game from him overall. Nurk plays in a back-to-back, that's very big. We also got Dame, still struggling with his shot. CJ was awesome. Good minutes from Carmelo. Rough game from Rocco. He's been so up and down lately. And then Anthony Simons, as expected, took a big hit after that crazy 9-10 from 3 game coming into it. Nuggets get the win. Joker goes off. 32, 3 blocks, 3 steals, 8 assists. He does everything. He's the MVP. MPJ, really good game here. His off-ball game has really gotten even better. Defense hasn't been terrible as well. Tweaked his ankle, was okay. It looked really minor to me. I think the fall kind of affected him too, so he's all right. And then the headline, fantasy-wise, is Facu Campazzo is just on another level. Simply put, you can't leave him on any waiver wires at this point. Pelicans dropped this one. Steven Adams, that toe injury, he did not finish this game. They showed a picture of him in sandals coming into the game. His toe doesn't look great, so not surprised he couldn't make it through this game. Brandon Ingram had MPJ on him, handling business there. Nothing really to say, but without Steven Adams, certainly going to be looking to Billy Hernan-Gomez. Utah going Studio 154 with some jazz music here. Just overall, just insane offense. No Mike Conley, aggravated his hammy, possibly missing more time. Georgia Shank has really stepped up when called upon. Expect him to be kind of a solid streamer. Clarkson's obviously great. Ingles is obviously great. Nothing really to say. This is just insane to put 154 up. Kings get blown out. Harrison Barnes, day-to-day, sounds like he's going to miss at least one more. I'd probably say 2. Chimezie Metu got the start, but also don't forget, Marvin Bagley is close. He was doubtful, so he could come back this weekend. So as great as Metu was, he did get garbage time. Wouldn't call him a great ad yet. DeLon Wright didn't really do too much. Terrence Davis was looked like it was going to be an 8-man rotation, but we saw some Kyle Guy. Justin James got in the mix here. James Jones got into foul trouble. Halliburton, pretty solid overall. Buddy Hield tweaked his ankle, did stay in the game. Looks like he's going to be okay. Suns get one of the biggest wins of the season. Mikal Bridges, just all-around stud. Chris Paul, magnificent game from him, man. Probably got an all-NBA team coming his way for sure. Booker solid. Yeah, just a great team win. Cameron Payne, pretty good off the bench, too. Very little say on the Clippers side. Paul George got real hot early. Still finishes with a pretty solid game, 25-10. And yeah, Kawhi Leonard was doubtful. So that means Terrence Mann, who played well today, kind of isn't really a pickup. And then also, man, I don't know why so many people were adding DeMarcus Cousins, but he gets a DMPCD. So yeah. Ads page, yeah, Facu. I know he's probably owned in every good league, but he shouldn't be available anywhere at this point. I like Peyton Pritchard. I think he's kind of got an inside tracker. Isaac Okoro, I think he's got lockdown minutes right now. Billy Hernan Gomez, if your league's a little bit shallower and you want to kind of make a swing for the fences, down with that until Steven Adams comes back. Still, the injury's not that bad. Lonnie Walker is certainly going to benefit. So points dependent, though, so not going to have too much of a ceiling. Devin Vassell, kind of the reverse. I like his upside a little bit more than Lonnie Walker for what it's worth. Chimezi Metu, kind of in a good shape, but don't forget Marvin Bagley getting closer. So really short upside here when Marvin Bagley does come back. Georgia Shanks certainly stepping up here without Mike Conley. That may continue. And then Aaron Nesmith, kind of the flyer dart throw. We know Brad Stevens really mixes it up. So that's it. Catch you next time.